Former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot has completed her investigation into the spending habits of Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard. NBC5's Regina Waldroup has been following this story. She has a look at some of the issues that are likely to be discussed tonight.
So this will be the final report on an investigation that Lori Lightfoot started last year. Now, her preliminary finding in August found that this village now drowning in debt since Tiffany Henyard has been in office. More than 200 people packed into the Dolton Park District to hear former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot's first findings of her investigation. And it's expected to be another packed house tonight.
The residents of Dolton deserve nothing less than a government that is fully accountable, responsive, transparent, and effective stewards of your precious tax dollars.
A majority of trustees hired Lightfoot in April of last year to investigate the alleged misuse of village funds by Mayor Tiffany Henyard, a move that Henyard tried to block. Lightfoot was also asked to investigate a 2023 taxpayer-funded trip to Las Vegas, where the mayor's former assistant said she was assaulted by a village trustee and that the mayor tried to cover it up. That woman now suing Henyard, the village of Dolton, Thornton Township, and that trustee. Right now, there are currently some 40 lawsuits filed against Henyard and the village. And at this point, it's unclear if Mayor Henyard will attend tonight's meeting. Of course, we will have a complete wrap-up on the news at 10. Reporting from Dolton, I'm Regina Waldroup, NBC5 News.
Thank you so much, Regina. The people of Dolton had a simple question. What happened to all the money? The village tasked former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot to look into this, and tonight she finally delivered the summary of her investigation into possible mismanagement of funds by Mayor Tiffany Henyard. NBC5's Regina Waldroup was there as Lightfoot laid out how the village ended up being millions of dollars in the red.
So more shocking details released about financial and legal matters. And now that the investigation is over, Lori Lightfoot says she hopes this small village can right the ship, get back to transparency and good government.
Good evening, everyone.
A packed Park District building, eager residents reacting to the results of a nearly 9-month investigation into the spending habits of Dolton's mayor and her administration.
I'm happy that the report is out so that the residents finally know some of the truth.
Still shocked because it's just amazing that this happened. And I think it saddens me also because the government didn't step in.
Former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot said she used witness testimony, emails, and other documents for her probe. With no subpoena power, she says she ran into some challenges, but still managed to get the job done. Henyard didn't attend the meeting.
We were tasked with looking into irregularities, allegations of irregularities regarding financial mismanagement.
Some of her key findings: credit card expenditures never approved, no receipts, more than $170,000 in travel-related costs, $51,000 spent at area restaurants, more than $218,000 for Amazon purchases, and almost $50,000 in supplies for the village's skating rink.
There is no tracking system for what happened to them after they arrived here.
As for litigation, 48 separate lawsuits filed against the village, 12 for FOIA violations. And regarding Vegas, Lightfoot says no business opportunities came to the village as a result of 2 trips taken there. She also says the mayor's ex-assistant, who said she was assaulted by a trustee on a trip in 2023, didn't cooperate with her investigation, nor did any other key witnesses. As for the federal investigation, well, Lightfoot says she doubts anything will happen before next month's election. She also touched on the new administration.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about the new administration. I don't think that they seem to be doing lots across the country and not really focus on the village of Dolton. I don't believe that the federal investigation should be impacted, but there's really no way of telling it.
As for recommendations, Lightfoot says she gave trustees quite a few, and many of them they have already started to implement. Reporting from Dolton, I'm Regina Waldroup, NBC5 News.
Regina, thank you very much. Very important we point out that we reached out to Tiffany Henyard's attorney for comment. We're still waiting on a response, and when we hear it, we'll bring it right to you.
And now to a major development in the saga of embattled Thornton Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard. A judge has dismissed her lawsuit, claiming that a caucus that threw her off the ballot was illegal. NBC5's Regina Waldroup has been following this case very closely for a very long time. She joins us now with details. Regina.
Marion, it is official. Tiffany Henyard is off the ballot for Thornton Township Supervisor, a role she was appointed to in 2022. Now, today, a Cook County judge ruled she didn't file her lawsuit properly, and he dismissed it without prejudice, meaning she cannot refile. So I want to take you back to the scene December 3rd. That is when Tiffany Henyard was thrown off the ballot. It was a packed and raucous meeting with an overflow crowd waiting outside. At that time, Henyard called it unfair and illegal. She said none of her supporters were let in to cast a vote. Now, we spoke to elections expert attorney Bert Oldelson, who tells us the caucus was legal, and also a Thornton Township resident who says it might have been legal, but it might not have been ethical.
I think that they used some plays out of Tiffany Henyard's own playbook. They booked a venue that was too small to hold everyone who wanted to attend. They seated their own supporters early.
We're there, conducted the caucus, it was done legally. Even a properly filed objection wouldn't have stood. So she's done.
Tiffany Henyard's only option now is to be a write-in candidate in Thornton Township's April 1st election. Now, today's court ruling in no way impacts her role as Dolton mayor. She remains the Democratic nominee in that contest, but she also is facing a number of lawsuits and financial investigations. Next Monday evening, former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot will release her second report on financials at a public meeting at the Dolton Park District. And we've reached out to Tiffany Henyard's attorney, but we have yet to hear back. Stefan?
A lot of people on the edge of their seats waiting to see what's in that report. Regina, thank you very much. Appreciate it. The mayor of Dolton was back in a courtroom today. A business owner took legal action after she says the mayor refused to sign paperwork she needed to open her business. Regina Waldroup was in the court for today's hearing.
This is the third time this year that this case has been before a Cook County judge. Today, the owners of the business are able to walk away with 2 of the 3 liquor licenses they applied for, while Mayor Henyard is facing a serious charge from the judge. Frustration and relief for a small business owner.
It's about time.
Tiffany Kamara left a Cook County courtroom with the liquor licenses she needs to open St. Patrick's, a family-owned restaurant and banquet hall on Lincoln Avenue in Dolton.
This should have been over, like he said, in November.
Kamara took legal action after she says she wasn't able to obtain licenses from Mayor Tiffany Henyard, who also serves as liquor commissioner. On Wednesday, Cook County Judge Cecilia Horan gave Henyard until 5 p.m. Thursday night to sign the licenses, but that deadline not met. In court Friday, Henyard signed them after the judge threatened her with contempt. After the licenses were signed, the judge found Henyard in indirect criminal contempt, but she wasn't taken into custody.
There are different kinds of contempt. What that means is that in the presence of the court, the mayor was disrespectful to the authority of the court because she was asked by the judge, will you sign the licenses, yes or no? And instead of answering the judge's question, she was, she talked in circles. So because of that, the judge held her in indirect criminal contempt.
Max Solomon is Henyard's attorney.
It's very important for the people to understand that the documents that were signed today had another entity on there.
And so that was the holdup on yours?
That was the holdup. That was the only thing.
Kamara says she's lost time and money. She says she wants Henyard to pay.
We want her to be fined. We want her to pay my client's attorney's fees. And we want damages.
We are wasting money every day. This building, nice building that people could have used, and jobs.
As for that criminal contempt charge, the judge is giving Mayor Henyard time to respond. This matter heads back to court next week. Reporting from Daly Center, I'm Regina Waldroup, NBC5 News.